Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the BG Show. I am here for a very special, I would say, emergency kind of reaction with my friend Richard. He is my good friend, former roommate, former coworker, into the same stuff I am. We're here today to talk about the HBO drama and all the HBO bullshit. Batgirl got canceled. There's a major shakeup. We don't know if HBO Max is going to happen. It probably will happen. So let's get right into it. So, Batgirl got canceled. How much were you looking forward to the movie?
I was looking forward to it. Like, there just hasn't been really a female superhero outside of Wonder Woman in the DC universe. So yeah, and Batgirl's one of the bigger players.
Yeah, and so it's kind of, I guess let's kind of back up. DC is kind of in disarray. They've been in disarray. They have, what's the word I'm looking for? They have like no plan or no flow. They have The Flash coming out. They have Aquaman 2 coming out. They have Black Adam coming out and Shazam coming out. But none of the movies seem to be connected. None of the actors at Comic-Con seem to know what the hell's going on. And so, I guess business-wise, Warner Media was owned by AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
And AT&T launched HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
And HBO Max has been very successful because they essentially get to double dip, right? They release a movie like The Batman, they make revenue in theaters, and now because of the WB and HBO connection, they're able to funnel it right into the streaming service, which I thought was the major, like the big, that's like their secret sauce.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to take it in context, right? Like, super successful, they're still losing money. They're still
True.
losing $300 million.
True. Although true, I guess they are losing subscribers, but I feel like that's like the nature of the beast. I feel like Netflix also lost a lot of money and they just got to get market share.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, I was looking at a list of like how satisfied the customers were, and they were at like 95%. Like their subscribers were very happy.
Yeah, I mean, HBO Max is like, if you think about the best streaming services, HBO Max has to be top 3.
Like let's think about where we put it. Where do you? I mean, we're good people to like compare it to, because if you're like into Disney, then it starts becoming a competition. If you're not into Marvel and Star Wars, it's almost like it's HBO Max by default. I mean, I guess you can skew Netflix, but I think most people agree HBO is better than Netflix at this point. For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of circle around it. It's more like your demographic and what you're into.
Yeah. So let's talk about this Batgirl movie and why it's so crazy. Can you ever think of a movie that was done being filmed and just didn't get released, was canceled? I can't think of one.
No, not off the top of my head, no.
The reason that's kind of weird is it has a $90 million budget, which, if you know the industry, it kind of makes sense that it would suck, because right now I would say a superhero movie is $200 million cost.
Yeah.
Flat. Like, that's the starting cost. If you want to make, CGI, I guess it's Batgirl, so it's street level 150, but 90 is like, you can't make a superhero movie for 90 million, even with cheap actors. I mean, you could, unless maybe Daredevil, but
no.
So it gets canceled. Everyone's freaking out because it has the same directors as Miss Marvel. Leslie Grace is from In the Heights, was playing Batgirl. Michael Keaton was supposed to reprise his role as Batman, and it makes no sense because if you're we're big fans and we're confused. If you're a casual fan, you're like, wait a second. Pattinson was just Batman. Ben Affleck was Batman. Is still alive in the movies. Now you're telling me Keaton's coming back. Like, what? It's almost like a Spider-Man thing, but they're not even connected. It's like, imagine if Sony was just making like Andrew Garfield movies, Tobey Maguire movies, and Tom Holland movies all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, like, are we spoiling here?
Yeah, full spoilers, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the end goal was to like link everything up through the Flash, right?
Yeah. So obviously, the Flash plays a big part into this. It's obviously total bullshit. They haven't canceled the Flash because Ezra Miller has been obviously a huge scumbag. I don't know if you know, he's been arrested like multiple times. He's been hitting women. He's been doing all this shit, like running wild. But the thing is, they're totally screwed because they have Affleck in the movie. They have Keaton in that movie. That movie, leaks, but not really spoilers. They're very clearly going to zap Affleck out, bring in Keaton. That was going to be like their reset. Maybe do like a Batman Beyond story. And I think another thing that they're giving away by not telling people is, I think Ezra Miller is also the villain in the movie, which is why they're having a hard time. They can't reshoot it because they need him and they need a villain. I think he's gonna play Reverse Flash in the movie.
Yeah. I haven't heard that.
It's not. That's just like my. Because if you look at the trailer, well, I guess it's only been a short trailer, but there was no like villain in the trailer, and just kind of the vibe that why does he have so much? He's so like secure in his role. I guess because they already shot it. It's $200 million. But so I'm gonna pull up some quotes. Today they had the earnings call where David Zaslav is the CEO of Discovery, and he's taken over Warner Brothers, which is a really weird dynamic because Warner Brothers CEO should be controlling Discovery. Warner Brothers is like, I don't know the numbers, but it's the more relevant IP. You know what I mean? So it's now Discovery is basically forcing HBO to fold into their streaming service. So as of today, HBO and Discovery are going to form one streaming service, and the crazy thing is they have to now do so much work to move subscribers over. Like think about it. Euphoria was I think the number one most watched show almost ever in the streaming era. Maybe one or two, and now they're gonna have to worry about getting all of these subscribers over to a new app, which you think is easy, but they're probably gonna lose a few million just because of the transfer now.
Well, I mean, like, it depends how they do it, right? Because I know that I paid my HBO Max subscription 1 year in advance. So, like, if they were to transfer right now,
yeah,
I'll be on the hook for it.
Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna email people a new, but with their older people, they're gonna have to re-download a new app, and it's easy for younger people, but older people, who knows? Some people just get confused about that stuff and going here and going there. So, I'm gonna read some quotes from the investors' call today, and. So this is from David Zaslav, the CEO. So he says, this is in regard to DC. We have done reset. We have a team in place. We're going to build a 10-year plan for DC. We're going to focus on quality. So when you hear the word reset about DC, do you get excited or do you think it's stupid?
I think it's stupid. Like, DC hasn't really had the best track record, for better or worse, right? Like, between the Joss Whedon stuff, between Ezra Miller, between Ray Fisher, even Affleck, right? He was a huge Batman casted, but he never actually has been in a Batman solo film. It's all like, they just haven't had the best track record with all these personnel. So like, if you're trying to forecast out 10 years,
let's say 10 would be perfect. Up to now, what would the DC universe be for you if 10 was like the best it could be? Up to this point.
Strictly live action? Discount
just live action, like the DC universe. DCEU.
Probably 3 or 4. 4
Wow.
if I'm being generous.
4? Okay. And what's your favorite DCU movie?
It will have to be.
I know mine.
It might be Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman 1.
Yeah.
So we both agree Wonder Woman 1 is our favorite DC movie. I feel like that's... No one even talks about the storyline anymore. We'll take a tangent. So that movie forced Captain Marvel to be made. Everyone talks how Marvel is so progressive, Marvel's this, Marvel's that. Marvel made like 25 male-oriented movies, and then DC made Wonder Woman, and Marvel was like, oh shit, like we totally fucked up, let's make Captain Marvel ASAP. And that's why in Endgame it's so disjointed with Captain Marvel, because they told the Russo brothers, put in Captain Marvel in this movie, and they were like, oh fuck. That's why they kick her out of the movie in the beginning, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm off-world. Because they're like, we don't want her in our movie. So, anyway, so Wonder Woman is the best. What do you think is the worst DC movie? I think it's...
Probably Batman vs. Superman.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so Batman, that's really when it went off the rails for me. And I guess really so what do you think of Zack Snyder? What do you think of like his movies overall? And what do you think he's done? Like, a lot of people want him back. Do you think bringing him back... It won't happen, but would you be a fan of him coming back?
I didn't even like Watchmen.
Oh.
So I've never been a fan of him.
Here come the Snyder. The Snyder fans are going to come for us.
Yeah, it's just it has been good at all from the start for me.
So, would you want to keep all the actors? You just want to keep going, basically ride it out, keep all the same actors, and just try to make better movies, but with the same actors in the same universe, not reboot with anyone. Do you think they should? They have to replace Ezra Miller, I guess.
They can't though, because in that same conference call, they listed The Flash as one of those tentpole movies that they're proud of. So he's already drawn a line in the sand, saying we're staying with Ezra Miller.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know how they're gonna promote the movie.
Yeah, no idea.
But okay, so and then what do you do with the Pattinson movies? You just let those ride? You just make two more and finish the trilogy? What would you do with those?
It has it been confirmed a trilogy?
At first, it was supposed to be. I know it was announced, and I think they signed deals.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's also nothing wrong for being its own side project, right? Its own little corner of the universe.
I mean, I think it's smart. I think you're basically like the casual fans love Batman, so let's make Batman universe like the Nolan movies, or as close as we can get to them, and just put it over here and let the casual fans enjoy that. And then we'll make a Batman in the DCEU
Right.
for the comic book fans, and if the casual fans want to watch that too. But I'm surprised by how many people are confused about two Batmans. Like, it seems simple to me. There's one over here that's his own thing, and there's one over here. You know?
Yeah, like, it's not really a perfect comparison, but you can compare it to, like, the Spider-Man universe,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's Venom, there's Morbius
Yeah.
on one side, and then there's Tom Holland there.
But if Sony was like, look, we know there's a Tom Holland in the MCU, but we know you love Tobey Maguire, so we're gonna make these Tobey Maguire movies over here, and Tom Holland is Spider-Man in the MCU. I feel like Marvel fans would be able to understand that, but there's so much hatred towards DC that people are like almost choosing not to understand it when it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
To
but
me,
Marvel built up that goodwill, right?
yeah, DC's got no good
Yeah.
will. So okay, so let's go into like what I think they should do. My plan. You already have movies kind of logged, right? So The Flash is already made, Aquaman 2 was made. You let these movies come out. It's hard to tell because like Shazam and Black Adam, you don't know what's gonna happen. I would start with Man of Steel 2. Kind of take a break. You make Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill, right?
He's out.
You think he's out? But this is how I would fix it. You make Man of Steel 2. Then you make after Man of Steel 2, you make you have to somehow connect it to Shazam and Black Adam. So you make Man of Steel 2. And
Well,
then
he's already connected to Shazam.
after Man of Steel 2, I would make Wonder Woman 3 with Aquaman in it as like a side role.
Okay.
Like kind of like Marvel does. They have like, you know, a side guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you make Black Adam 2, and you have Shazam and Superman in that. Then you make Green Lantern, and then after that, and then you make a Batman DC movie, and then you make Justice League 2. That's the order I do it in. And I think Man of Steel 2, the villain, Metallo, I think you do a one-off villain. You do a Metallo, or you do... I think... Well, who do you think should be the villain of Justice League 2? Like the big bad? They already used Darkseid, who's like the biggest villain, so it's so stupid anyway. I think Brainiac, right? Do like a Brainiac thing.
Do you want to make it that Superman heavy?
Yeah, I guess you have to decide. I think they have to start getting out of Batman and make it more... Yeah, I think linking up Wonder Woman and Aquaman is what you do, though. Because...
Batman.
Sorry, yeah, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, because those two are like kind of on the same... There's never been a Batman DCU movie, though, because there's just Batman versus Superman, which was like kind of a Batman movie, but like, you have to do Batman... The Ben Affleck was supposed to get his own movie, and they never gave it to him. He was supposed to direct his own movie, and that's when it took a turn. They took it away with Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just read a couple other quotes now. So let's go through, I guess... I'm trying to think, what else do they have here? Another quote that David Zaslav said, "We will fully embrace theatrical. When you're in theaters, the value of the content is elevated, clearly demonstrated by the Batman and Elvis." So it sounds like they want really, really... That's the thing, we don't even know if they're going to connect the movies. They might just want to make like really big DC movies that don't even connect. Like one-off movies, like The Joker.
Yeah, it's really hard to do like a 10-year forecast if you're doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, right? Because during the COVID era, they decided that they were going to release these movies directly to HBO Max, and all the numbers were great. That they were super profitable, and they didn't have to revenue share with the movie theaters either. So like they get all the revenue.
Right.
The downside is that the revenues, there's a ceiling to it, right? You can only have so many subscriptions. And then people share profiles too, so that puts a further ceiling on it.
True.
So So yeah, I mean, like, I get the whole theater experience, but like, COVID's never going away, and there's people out there that haven't stepped foot in theaters yet.
Hmm.
So like, they're also like they're limiting themselves by not going strictly theater.
Yeah. So do you think if DC was this? Do you think I don't think they'll sell DC, but if they did sell DC, who would you want to buy it?
HBO Max sell it?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't sell it.
You don't think so?
No, it's too
I feel
much
like it'd be
value.
perfect for Prime.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, if you put it,
Oh, Prime or Apple to buy them. Definitely Prime, but I don't. It won't happen.
yeah, if they sell DC, there's gonna be a bidding war. Because if you like, if you're able to like snap away the past 15 years and just start at equal footing, everyone would have said DC's the better IP than Marvel.
Mm.
It just so happened that Marvel had first 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 advantage. Marvel did the movies first, so Marvel had Kevin Feige. DC never had anyone to take those helms.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, like, I don't think they're ever gonna sell DC.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty messed up what they did. I mean, everyone got paid, so it's not like they didn't get paid on Batgirl. It's kind of messed up because they're gonna have a hard time getting work now. Because if you're a producer of a movie and you're like, why would I hire these directors? They just made because people are saying it was terrible in the test screenings.
Yeah, but
It's hard to believe them, but
like the reviews that I read, it wasn't all that different from normal reviews, right? Like the CGI wasn't done. It was an incomplete movie, and it was
right.
just a test screening. So we have to keep that into consideration.
True, true. All right. Well, I mean, I'm kind of excited now. I was like kind of worried yesterday with the whole HBO thing, and I was going to record a rant video, but now today it's almost like I know they're committed to DC, so it can't be much worse than. It almost sounds like a sports owner who like hires a competent GM, and you kind of get like excited. That's what it feels like because they haven't had any plan for DC, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like the way they make it sound, they're just trying to make a full family experience, right? Something for everyone. They're gonna have reality shows. They're gonna have news. They're gonna have uh, shows for children. Um, we'll see how it works out because right now the demographics just don't match, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
a little weird.
yeah,
It seems, yeah, which is why Disney has Hulu and Disney Plus. So I don't know why they don't just. But all right, I think we covered everything. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, subscribe if you like. We'll be covering a lot more stuff going forward, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.